Hey guys, this one is going to be a very quick video, mainly because it was very spontaneous. So as I was sitting on the bus, I thought about my life, and I thought about the opportunities that I never had, and I was kind of comparing myself, right? And I was thinking like, okay, well, I didn't have the best childhood. I didn't have what people always had. I didn't have the money. I didn't have these things. I kind of grew up in an environment where I had to survive. And naturally, it instilled a victim mentality in me. And I used to think, the reason why I can't do what I want to do is because I didn't have this, I didn't have that. But what God has really taught me in these last few years is that every single setback is a setup for success. Every single thing that happens to you is for you. Because when God is in the picture, where the world sees failure, he sees opportunity. And if you can mold your mind, if you can change your thoughts to see everything in life as an opportunity for growth, an opportunity for healing, an opportunity for something to be birthed that's much greater than the suffering that you're in right now, you will make it and you will get through life. I often say it is the people who have suffered in this world, it's the people who have gone through so much that have the key to birth something great. And yes, not everything is meant to happen, not every single thing in your life was God's will or what all you deserve. It doesn't mean it's the end, it doesn't mean it's over. You have to get to a point where you can see your life and not complain, but actually be grateful. I swear, gratitude is the key to true, genuine joy. When you have gratitude, and also gratitude isn't just a feeling. Gratitude, right, isn't just a feeling. Gratitude is a choice. Gratitude is a choice. And a lot of people need to learn that they can choose what they think. They can choose what they feel. It's a choice. Stop allowing things to happen to you. Stop taking things in and feeling like, oh, I can't do anything about it. Stop allowing your emotions to dictate you, to dictate things that you want to do. Stop allowing things to just happen and feeling like you have nothing to do. You're in control of your mind, and your mind is your greatest asset. Your mind is the one thing that if you treasure, that if you protect, and if you nurture, it's going to build you success. There are so many ways to get rich in this life. You can start a business, you could produce songs, you could do a lot of things, but the greatest wealth that you can have is a mind that knows how to create success. You could have the knowledge and skills and everything, but at the end of the day, you only learn through what you do. The way that you learn is through what you consume. So you need to protect your mind. I had my notes and I had things that I wanted to say, but let me just pull them out. Let me just pull out my notes. And if you're gonna do something, do it. If you say you're gonna do something, do it. You're not being placed, you're being positioned. If your environment goes against your belief systems, if your environment doesn't match who you are right now, you've not been placed there, you've been positioned. Sometimes God puts us in places that do not match who we are becoming, because it's testing our faith and it's strengthening our roots. Sometimes you're the black sheep. Sometimes you're the outsider. You may be the one that feels like, if you feel like you don't match where you are, if you feel like you carry something that's always been picked on, maybe you're too sensitive, maybe you're too quiet, you're too this, you're too that, whatever it is, just know that a quality that stands out within you is God's mark on you. And if you do not lose that, and if you can see yourself the way God does, that very thing that people picked on you for becomes a blessing to many other people. For example, like being sensitive and being overly, just like I'm such a passionate person. I feel things. I'm someone who resonates a lot with others, and oftentimes that's got me hurt in the start of my life, where I give my heart out to someone, I do something for somebody, and I don't have that it's not reciprocated. I go through a lot of things. I've been through so much, pertaining that, and not feeling like I've always had somebody, or feeling like I've been met with the same, I guess, intensity as I bring. Regardless, like, that was the one thing that hurt me, until I realized that it was a gift, and the enemy will always exploit the gift that God has put inside of you, and he will make sure that you will see that as a flaw, but actually it's a gift. You're not overly sensitive, you're just deeply gifted in feeling emotion. Like, emotion is the one thing that drives inspiration. You know, when you listen to a song and you feel different. When you watch a movie and you feel like you're in a whole different life, like you're completely just taken aback. Like, things like that. When you're able to feel, you're able to create. And when people can resonate with your creation, that's how you build engagement, that's how you build connection. Right now in this world, there's so much numbness. Everybody is so numb, always scrolling on their phone, always looking at something, taking drugs, doing this, whatever. People are always numbing themselves from experiencing emotions, but at the same time they're chasing highs, they're chasing cheap dopamine. The reason why people are so, it's because we don't want to experience pain. We don't know how to experience pain. We don't actually know how to cope with pain. We only know how to suppress it. But the thing is, if you want to feel true joy and true love and true peace, you have to also learn to go through the waves. You know, you have to also go through the dips in life. And God has taught me that the dips in life, with him, you won't drown in them. With him, you won't drown in your suffering. You will actually learn to see purpose in it. He turns pain into purpose when you choose to face it, when you choose to look at yourself, when you choose to look at your wounds, when you choose to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself, and address the self-sabotaging behaviors, and address why you know, the things that you've been running from your childhood, from these experiences, from when you were whatever age you are, right? It doesn't matter. Even if you're like 65 and you're still running from something that happened to you when you were 13, when you face those wounds with the Lord, when you finally say, I'm done running for myself, I'm done running for myself, that's when you find God, and he allows you to see yourself in a way that you could have never imagined. He allows you to see yourself with so much love, and the flaws that you were afraid of people seeing, the flaws that you were hiding, the flaws that you thought made you worthless, to God, you're so worthy and you're so loved, and he cares about those parts of you, because he's a loving God, and his love is not like anything in this world. You won't find it in a friend, you won't find it in a partner. Yes, like, God created us for connection and connection, but he is the first person, because he can hold every single one of our wounds, and he's collected every single tear that we've ever shed. He's been there like no other, and he knows every single number of hair on your head. He knows your thoughts, everything. That kind of intimacy that someone could have, no human, no matter how close you are, could ever have. And it is him that we should look to. It is him that we should pursue a relationship with, because he knows us the best. But yeah, my last point that I wrote down is get out of the victim mindset. Stop complaining. If you want to do something different, you're gonna have to look weird, right? You're gonna have to look a bit odd. But if you want to be like everyone else, then just do things normally, you know. If you know that it is your goal and it's your desire to become, whether that's a content creator, whether that's setting up a business, whatever it is that is not the norm and it's not the same as, you know, going to school and getting a job, whatever it is, whatever you want to become, that you think it's unrealistic, just know that if you want to reach those goals, you're going to have to look different. How can you do what everyone else is doing and expect a different life? You have to go against the norm, and it's going to look weird, but a blessing you will be to so many people, because a lot of people also want to break out of their shell. They want something different. They want to feel something, but everyone else is so afraid of what other people are thinking. Destroy that ego by looking at people with love, through looking at them in the way that God would look at you. knowing that every person is in their own world. Sorry, every single person is like, every person has like, this is a realization I had, like every person is in their own like mind. They're not thinking of you, they're thinking about themselves. But we should all be thinking about God, because God is always thinking about all of us. But yeah, get out the victim mindset. Every setback is a setup for success. Truly, when you feel different, it's because you're called to be someone who can stand firm in their identity. When you feel like you've lacked, it's because you are called to find abundance in not the things of this world, but in something more beautiful and more treasurable, right? Where if you didn't grow up with a lot of money, if you didn't grow up with a lot of things, try and switch your mindset from I lacked to, you know what, I have everything I need. Richest things in this life is love, right? Love, having purpose, having meaning. And so when you lack in a certain aspect, it's God can reshift your perspective from seeing abundance in things that most people won't see as abundance. But when you fixate on that, you truly have everything. And yeah, I did not have an easy start to life, right? Also, like, stop comparing yourself to other people. Stop looking at yourself and thinking, I'm not doing enough. Not everybody had the same opportunity. Not every single person started with the same resources. You have to give yourself grace, because a lot of things that you had to learn that you weren't taught, you had to learn to teach yourself. A lot of us, like, if you're someone who had to become very hyper independent, that you had to provide, like, you had to be very hyper independent, whether that's physically providing for yourself or emotionally providing for yourself, because that one counts as well. Stop comparing yourself to other people and wondering why you're not as far as they are, because you had a lot more on your plate. You had a lot more burdens to carry. But in that, do not see yourself as the one who's lost, or the one who do not see yourself as indifferent. See yourself in the way that you had a lot on your plate, but you have learned to navigate that, and you've turned that into something beautiful, and that can be a blessing for other people. The struggles that you face in this life, when you overcome them, how many more people have gone through the same thing? If you just pick up a camera and you start to talk about your experience, if you just do something to let other people know that they're not alone in their suffering, in that brings purpose to your pain. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I'll see you guys. I hope this video helped.